Are you wondering why you should care about Android 16? Here to help. Okay, Google just showed us Android 16 in an episode of the Android show. Kind of, sort of. Some things were in focus while others were not even mentioned. Let's go through the obvious things. Number 1, live notifications. We've seen this before on iOS with live activities and Samsung Galaxies with the Now bar. It is one notification-sized bar that actually feeds you live information. What's cool about the Android 16 implementation is that it can live on the always-on display in this cool outline style. It shows you the progress of your food delivery or Uber ride, and I assume it's open to third-party developers for any sort of progress tracking you might need. Number 2 is Material 3 Expressive. Okay, so at the core of the Google Material design is the selling point that you can personalize it to be more suited to your style and personality. You can select different color themes, components and fonts. Personally, I don't see it. It just looks like a lot of pixie dust thrown at the home screen, but hey, to each their own. But I do appreciate the focus on animations and feedback when interacting with the system. Android 16 will look more polished, with more smooth moving elements, more blurs, and that touch of fine-looking digital glass all around. This also comes with improved grids for home screen and quick toggle customization, which should look more orderly, I guess. Number 3 is another update for tablets and foldable phones. We hear this almost every year. Apparently Android 16 is better optimized for large or unorthodox screens. You know, the ones that come with foldable phones or tablets of different sizes and aspect ratios. Supposedly, apps will be more flexible and better at adjusting themselves on the fly, which will also improve split screen mode. Number 4, quite important, is optimized battery life and performance. So Google has these features called adaptive battery and doze mode. Adaptive battery learns from your smartphone usage and knows when to put apps in deep sleep because you're done with them for the day, and when to keep firing on all cylinders. Doze mode puts background tasks in deep sleep when the phone is in standby to conserve more battery, kind of how iOS 18 does. In Android 16, both of these are to be updated with a smarter adaptive mode and a doze mode that kicks in a lot sooner. Google says that'll bring battery endurance and improvements to all Android phones, you know, as long as they get Android 16. For performance, Android 16 is lighter than before, using less processing power. This should be observable on even lower powered mid-range phones, where Google promises smooth animations and quicker app switching thanks to a new way that Android will manage memory. Feature 5 is that if you don't like this video and subscribe, you will continue to get that Tony Robbins ad on repeat for the rest of eternity. Yeah, it's in the Android 16 change notes, I am telling you. No, the real number 5 is camera improvements. Now, the Google Camera API will have improved exposure performance, improved HDR, and baked-in zoom improvements. Notably, zooming should be smoother and less shaky. Now, this is a part of the core Android camera coding, so it should somewhat improve the performance of all Android phones that get it. Number 6, security and safety. Now, Google's Pixels, if you don't know, had that theft detection thing. The AI detects when someone snags your phone from your hands and runs with it. This automatically prompts the phone to lock itself. Google is now working to make this a standard feature across Android phones with Android 16, which is pretty cool. Another cool feature is scam and fraud detection. You may have noticed it working for SMS and text before, where you get a bubble that says a possible scam or fraud whenever you get, a malicious message. Well, now it's going to work for actual voice calls on all Android 16 phones. It will use on-device Gemini AI to detect if someone's trying to scam you via a voice call. Now, I am not a huge AI lover over here, but as someone who's had an elderly relative fall for one of these, I can say that is actually a great feature for AI. Also, there's the safety check feature, which will prompt you to confirm if you're safe and okay. If you don't, it will contact whoever you listed as an emergency contact on your behalf. It was a Pixel feature before, now it's coming to general Android 16. Feature 7 is something I haven't been paying attention to for a while. That's the new Find Hub. That's the new name of the Find My Phone, since it's now, well, a hub. What drew my attention to it is that Google has multiple third-party manufacturers making trackers for it. You know, like the little AirTags or the Samsung tags. Well, there are tags for general Android as well. You can even buy tracked luggage cases or skis from some manufacturers, and you will now be able to share your tracker info with your air travel company if your luggage gets lost, so they can find it faster. Wish I had that 5 years ago, Air France, but thanks for getting my underwear back to me. And number 8, gamers, rejoice! There will now be advanced controller support in Android. Now, we've been able to connect our DualShocks and our Xbox controllers to Android before. That's not news, but Android 16 is bringing much needed granular controls like sensitivity and custom button mapping, and you can save your settings to different profiles that will auto-select for their assigned games. This is pretty huge, as many games in the Play Store do have controller support, somewhat haphazardly thrown in there, but an inadequate sensitivity and nonsensical button layouts typically push you away from actually using it. That's about all the important bits I figure mattered for the Android 16. Of course, Google may throw us a curveball come May the 20th, so stay tuned. See ya! Pooh!